Since the very first humans gained the ability to consciously observe their environment, there has been a deep-rooted fear within all humans that has shaped the way that we have navigated the world ever since. This fear is the fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown is the overarching fear of all fears, as most fears have an unknown aspect to them that piques our morbid curiosity. An example of this is the most profound fear of all human beings being death, and the potential of what may or may not come after it. As our species has progressed over the last millennia or so, we have made leaps and bounds in the study of astronomy and have begun to develop a detailed picture of the universe around us and what the nature of our universe is. This has opened our species up to a new fear that could have never been conceived by early human beings, being astrophobia, which is the fear of space. One might ask, why would anyone be afraid of space, and what does astrophobia have to do with the fear of the unknown? Do not fear, as I'm here to explain. The fear of the unknown is closely correlated to astrophobia, as the study of our universe is in its infancy, and we have only just begun to truly comprehend the certain aspects of our universe within the last century or so. With there being so little information about what is out there, the mind can wander to topics such as the existence of extraterrestrial life, asteroid impacts, black holes, and many other terrifying aspects of our universe that can potentially be an existential threat to humanity as we know it. While there is a large amount of information out there thanks to the hard work and dedication of many astronomers, astrophysicists, cosmologists, astrobiologists, and other individuals that wish to understand the deeper mysteries of our universe, this information can seem daunting to some people and can cause existential dread to the masses across the globe, so some people seem to actively stay away from speculation and study of the cosmos. I believe it's extremely important for all humans to face our fears and try and turn the existential dread that we feel when coming across unsettling information regarding the nature of our universe into existential excitement. The goal of this video is to bring to light the similarities of astrophobia and the fear of the unknown, and how all fears are valid, but are all under the same umbrella of an overarching fear, which is the fear of the unknown. I invite every person watching this video at night to head outside and gaze up into the grey expanse that lies above you, and try and comprehend the sheer size of the observable universe. No matter how much you try, it's impossible to even frame it in your mind. As a telescope user, I personally found that one of the most mind-numbing parts about observing the night sky with an instrument is the ability to point your telescope at the darkness of space and see stars that light you are unable to perceive with the naked eye. This allows us to see firsthand the unseen. These objects are always out there, yet we cannot see them, and this is unsettling to any person, and is a stark reminder of the size of not only our galaxy, but the observable universe beyond it. Most of us who live in densely populated areas unfortunately fall victim to light pollution, so we've been robbed of the ability to see our galaxy in its full glory. So I implore all people to find the nearest dark sky reserve to you, and see our galaxy the same way that our ancestors were fortunate to be able to see it before. Can you imagine how terrified early humans would have been looking up at the Milky Way, seeing constant shooting stars? I wonder if this is where some of the earliest forms of critical thinking came from, debating around the campfire about what lies above them. Let's bring ourselves back closer to home and discuss the size of our solar system, and then we can slowly build ourselves up to the galactic scale. We will start by discussing the distance to our very own natural satellite, the Moon. We have made the trip to the Moon many times and have established a minimal human presence on the Moon, with over 50 probes, and also rovers doing constant research, helping to give us a greater understanding of our Moon. As of 2023, there is even a rover now doing research close to the south pole of the Moon, which discovered an ancient crater that is 160 kilometers wide. We even had boots on the ground on the Moon from the 60s to the 70s with the Apollo missions, which is still to this day one of, if not the biggest achievements in human history. The Moon is approximately 384,000 kilometers away from Earth. To put that into perspective, you could fit 30 Earth-sized planets between the Moon and Earth. The fastest it has ever taken us to reach the Moon is with the unmanned spacecraft the New Horizon, which took just 8 hours and 35 minutes to reach the Moon. In contrast, the fastest manned spacecraft, which was with the Apollo 8 mission, took just 69 hours to reach the Moon. The spacecraft reached speeds as high as 24,000 miles an hour, which is mind-boggling to think about when we're thinking about how slow we travel down here on Earth on our highways and motorways. Now we have established how far the closest celestial object in the night sky is from us, we will move further out to the planet that we hope to colonize in the near future, being Mars. At any given time, Mars can be between 55 million and 400 million kilometers away, which is a drastic jump from our closest object. To blow our minds even more, and to give us an even deeper understanding of the vastness of our solar system, almost 20,000 Earths could fit between Earth and Mars. For humans to reach Mars, it would take around 9 months. Once there, astronauts would have to wait for around 16 months for a transfer window, and then another 9 months to get back. So to say the solar system is vast is understated. We'll miss out the rest of the planets and head out to the furthest point of the solar system, which is the Oort cloud. We'll be switching to the unit known as AU, which if you didn't know means astronomical unit. 1 AU is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, which is around 150 million kilometers. The inner edge of the Oort cloud is around 2,000 to 5,000 AU from the Sun, and then the outer edge is approximately 10,000 to 100,000 AU from the Sun. The Voyager 1 probe is currently making this trip, and it will take approximately 300 years to reach the inner edge, and around 30,000 years to reach the outer edge. So imagine, that's longer than atomically modern humans have existed for, which is wild to think about. It's also very crazy to think that many millennia after we are gone, the Voyager 1 probe will still be making its lonely journey to the edge of the solar system. So we'll now move out to the closest star system to us, which is Proxima Centauri, which is approximately 4.2 light years away from Earth. Now imagine the craziness of this. 1 light year is 9 trillion kilometers, so we're going to have to do 4 times those and a little bit extra, and come back as well. So it's inconceivable at current speeds to even think about reaching there. But to think about how vast even it is to the closest star system to us is just mind-numbing. And then when you expand out even further to the galaxy, which is 100,000 light years across, and then you move to the closest galaxy, which is 1,000,000 light years away from us, that's 1,000,000 times 9 trillion. Like, we are never getting there in any conceivable time unless we can somehow come up with some way of traveling faster than the speed of light, which is of course universally known as the speed limit to the universe, unless there is some form of way of manipulating the space-time around a spaceship to propel it faster than the speed of light. But that gets into deeper, more theoretical sides of space propulsion, spacecraft propulsion. Also, as a telescope user, I will bring up the furthest object that I've ever seen, which was 29.5 million light years away, which is the Sombrero galaxy. And I remember when I saw that, I was just thinking, I'm seeing light from 29.5 million years ago right now. And the light that I am actually technically seeing at this moment in time is not going to reach this planet for 29.5 million years. I will be long gone by then. Hell. We're now going to talk about planets. Let's talk about the different types of planet in our solar system. Heading back to the solar system, it's easier to use that than think about different planets within different star systems because it's easier to just talk about home. So, of course, we have terrestrial worlds like our planet here, of course, Earth, and we have Mars, which was, of course, once suspected to be very, very similar to Earth and actually have surface water on it. So the possibilities of Mars's past are very insane to think about, and we will get into those at another time. We'll briefly discuss those in the thoughts of the existential nature of astrophobia and thinking about the fear of the unknown in that aspect. It's also thinking of whether life could have potentially come from Mars through panspermia. Think about that. Life on this planet might not even be inherent from Earth. It might not have even came from Earth. It might have came from Mars, which is very, very strange to speculate about. Of course, we also have gas giants, which are, of course, very, very violent and very crazy. And they do have our gas giants have lots and lots of moons, which have potential to seed their own life, which could be the first signs of extraterrestrial life that we ever see. And if that is the case, and it's inherent to those moons/worlds, that means that we are seeing that life is definitely common in our type of star system, if not throughout the entirety of the galaxy and in other galaxies, depending on the fundamental nature of the star and the positions of these planets and so on and so forth. I think it's definitely going to be a factor of that, and I would really hope that we can discover this at some point in the future. Maybe not in our lifetime. Hopefully in our lifetime we get the confirmation of extraterrestrial life, but who knows if we ever will. Of course, as well, we have the ice giants, which are very underrated as far as planet goes, because people just see them and they don't see them as beautiful as the others. But I think Uranus is a pretty cool planet. I have actually also seen that one as well. The only planets that I haven't actually seen with my telescope is Mercury and Neptune. I also haven't seen the little dwarf planet of Pluto, but that's just unfortunate. I hope that this information that I brought to light for you, which is very easily accessed information, that which a lot of people do know, I hope this information can give you some existential dread. I know that sounds very savage of me to say, but the existential dread can be turned into existential excitement, which is very, very important for conquering the fear of astrophobia, and also conquering the fear of the unknown, because the ultimate unknown is the great expanse that lies above us. Honestly, something that people don't think about as much as you think they would, because most people will leave at nighttime and just think it's nighttime. They don't think, oh, the great expanse is now visible to me. Let's go outside and see what there is out there. It's very important for you to do this, because it helps keep you grounded, even though it's elevating you to looking at things that you cannot even conceive the distances of. Think about these distances we've just talked about, even in our own solar system, within the closest star system, within even our galaxy, and then think about how many galaxies there is within the observable universe. You move out to the observable universe, and then we get to the point where, when we're thinking about astrophobia, we get to the observable universe quandary, when we think to ourselves, what is beyond the observable universe? Is it infinite? Is it finite? Is there a lot beyond it? Is there not a lot beyond it? It can't really be a barrier, can it? We just can't perceive that yet at this moment in time. So what is beyond it? I want to know what everybody who is a nice little spacehead thinks about what's beyond the observable universe. Do you think it's finite? Do you think it's infinite? Which is actually, into the people who are not as spaceheady people, what is more terrifying to you? It being infinite or it being finite? I would personally say it being finite is more terrifying, because that means that there's a boundary to the universe in a way. So if there's a boundary to the universe, what's outside the boundary? I know there might not be anything outside the boundary, but if there's a boundary, surely that means that there is something outside of the boundary, or something that is preventing the universe from expanding further out. That would make a lot of sense, right? That's why I think it's personally infinite. Whether or not it's an infinite amount of galaxies and planets and nebulas and stars and so on and so forth, we are yet to see, yet to know, but it's very interesting to ponder these ideas and to see how correlated the fear of space is to the fear of the unknown. And it makes a lot of sense when navigating your not only space-related issues, but also other related issues in your life, to think about the fear of the unknown, the fact that all other fears fall under that umbrella, and the fact that the unknown aspects of life is what has always brought humanity down. It's what has caused wars and all of the other atrocities over human history. It's mostly the fear of the unknown, because that is one of the biggest fears in human history. So, I would like to thank you very much for all watching this video. I hope you made it to the end. I got a little bit rambly towards the end. I went a little bit off script, but I hope you don't mind that too much. I've had much fun making this video. It's been in the pipework for a long time. So yeah, I've made it. Here we go, and we're good. If you want to stick around, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of astrophobia. Are you scared of space? Because I would say I'm not. I'm not scared of space at all. I think it's so interesting. I think the thought of infinity is mind-boggling but interesting. And I believe that these are things that keep us grounded, they keep us talking, and these are things that can bridge humanity together, because we've got a whole cosmos to conquer, not in the sense of conquer as in the word of what we're used to it meaning, but to explore, to look at it, to delve into, to colonize in a way of just like terraforming worlds and mining asteroids and all the other intricate things that we can do, and of course the greatest one of all, potentially discovering extraterrestrial life. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all so very, very much. Have a wonderful day, and peace out, my friends.